everybody. My name is Nigel Bunt, and I'm supposed to be doing the commentary for the ERF procession. The first vehicle coming into the field today is the very first vehicle built by ERF. The gentleman driving it, Alan Stone here, will tell you more about it now.
Good afternoon. This vehicle that you see here is ERF 1. This is the very first ERF built. It was built in a greenhouse in Sandbach by Edwin Richard Foden in 1933. The chassis number is 63, which was Edwin Richard's age when he built this truck, with Ernest Sherratt, his designer, and a Mr. George Falconer. The cab was designed by J.H. Jennings and was called the Registered Design Cab, and it gave this vehicle a head start over the competition of the day. The truck was sold to Mr. Fred Gilbert of Leighton Buzzard for £1,250. That was quite a sum in those days. Mr. Gilbert knew he was paying for top quality engineering, for the Gardner 4LW diesel engine, the David Brown gearbox and Kirkstall axles. The chassis was made not so far from here by Rubrio, and it had Lockheed hydraulic brakes. Also attractive to Mr. Gilbert was its 8-ton payload and 30 mile an hour top speed, although the legal speed limit in that day was 20 mile an hour. The vehicle was registered on the 1st of September 1933, so it's just about to celebrate its 62nd birthday. Thank you.
Thank you, Alan. He'll parade us for around the ring now. Now the next 4 ERFs coming in have what was known as the KV cab. It is the first commercial vehicle cab built with curved windscreens, and when introduced it was thought to have been the most modern cab to be built. The first 3 vehicles coming in the ring with this cab on were all originally owned by Scottish and Newcastle breweries. As you can see, they have very similar registration numbers. The first vehicle, CSC 626B, being a 1964 example, that they are all LKG 44 models, being powered by Gardner 4LK 4-cylinder diesels. The second vehicle, CSC 235B, is a similar vehicle from the same batch as the green one. Now the green one's being owned by Derek Marston, the maroon one's owned by Benny's, and the next vehicle, owned by Vic Haynes from Pershall, is a slightly older one from 1962. Now the next KV coming along in the two-tone green of Hal Fillingham, NWI 716, is a very similar vehicle. But this was used on general haulage, and as you can see, it's been restored to a very high standard. As you'll see today, most of these ERFs that are not now working for a living are very well maintained and preserved. This next vehicle, RUG 90, is a little bit older. It's a 1953, and it has what is called the Streamline cab, which was built immediately prior to the KV. This vehicle has a 5-cylinder Gardner 5LW of about 100 horsepower. It was supplied new to F. Crowther from Sandal near Wakefield in Yorkshire, but originally it was ordered by British Road Services, but they cancelled the order. The next vehicle has been seen in many different liveries recently in the last few years. KWF 850 was previously in Roundtree's brown livery. It has also got a 4-cylinder 4LK Gardner and was built in 1950. and is now owned by AK Shara. Coming along now is Gordon Plant's preserved ERF with another 4LK Gardner powering it from 1950 also. This vehicle has been preserved for a number of years, but was used up until about the 1970s on general haulage by Plant. Coming along now is what is on an unusual ERF from the 1950s. LUN 749 has an aluminium panel cab. All the KVs in the later 50s had fiberglass cabs, but as you can see, this one being a tractor unit is the only one of its kind that survived. It's in Terry's Transport delivery from Ellesmere. Coming along now is something more modern, Mr. Harrison's ERF M series. It's the lighter version of the ERF B series, which was the first ERF to be built with a tilt cab. This one has a Gardner 6LXB, 180 horsepower engine, and it's used on general haulage with a flat body. The standard length for a four-wheeler on a body like that would be about 24 feet. These vehicles are unusual in that the gearbox returns to the early position halfway along the chassis and is not directly connected to the engine. Coming along now is a very smart wagon in Harrison Miners colours from Devon. But it doesn't come from Devon. It comes from up in the Yorkshire area. TWU 774M is an ERF LV cab which was built prior to the B series and is the last ERF cab that did not tilt to allow access for the engine. This vehicle was previously owned by Martin Perrins and was last seen here in a fawn colour scheme. Dave Brewer has had permission from Brian Harris from Harrison Myers to paint this lorry in their livery. Matthew's ERF is a slightly older version, this being a 64G with a Gardner 6LW, the same as what powers the Harrison Miners lorry, but it has a different style front to the cab and is an earlier version of an LV. It also has a straight chassis, whereas the previous vehicle and the next vehicle that you can see have chassis which slope.